This creaky hinge is driving me absolutely batty. I decided today, whatever it takes, I'm gonna fix it. So what I'm planning on doing is I'm gonna take this hinge completely apart and see what's going on inside it, and solve the problem. It's gonna be a lot of work. I gotta take the fender off, I gotta take the rear axle completely off, and to do that I'm going to put a jack under here to lift it up. That's horrible creaky. That's just nuts. I don't have a whole lot of springiness left at the very bottom end of it. It takes a big bump for it to actually move now, and when it does, it creaks like that because it's sticking pretty good. So if I can find Zach's floor jack, not sure where he put it. I think I can see it. I'm going to stick that under here, and then I'm going to use my pulley to lift the back up and just kind of support it so it doesn't fall off the jack. Because the frame itself, I forgot about that. The roll bar is connected to that hinge. On the inside or the outside? Yeah, it's connected to the outside. Dang rabbit. So, because what I was going to do is take the tires off and take the rear fender off, and I was going to disconnect that spring, and that would allow this to move. However, the roll bar is attached. It's attached to the frame too. So the actual rear end part of it is on the inside. That could be a problem. I'm not sure what to think now, because I don't know what's going to happen if I take that bolt out. I don't know if it's a rod that goes all the way through. I'm not sure what to think. What I planned to do might not work. Well, let me just kind of... This might take a little bit more thinking. Well, the bolt itself looks fine, it's not rusty. But it seems hollow in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load it up with lubricant. Hopefully that'll make a difference. I'll do the same thing to the other side. Same on the other side, and if that doesn't fix the problem, I don't know what to do. Ah, that's a disappointment. I was hoping that would do something. Oh. So apparently, to take that thing off, appears to me that's going to be an all-day job. I thought it was going to be nice and simple. Well, not simple, but you know, an hour, maybe 2 hours. But I didn't realize the roll bar was, or I should say I forgot that the roll bar was connected. I did have a plan, depending on what was going on in there. I bought some grease nipples. So that's what the problem is. And it is greasy. If it's greasy, it wouldn't be a problem. If it is rusty inside, then the part that actually moves that the rear axle is connected to, I was going to put grease nipples on there just so I can pack it full of grease and keep it from rusting up again. Apparently that's a job for another day. I'm not getting into that today. It's already 4:30, so I'll be working into the night if I start this. I was hoping, I don't know, maybe over the next day or two, that lubricant I stuck in there will kind of get into where it needs to be, work its way in. I don't know. It would be a good thing. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. I laugh when I hear that now. An all-day job. Well, I wish it was only a one-day job. When I actually do get to tackle this, you'll see in an upcoming video, it took a little more than one day. So, later that evening, I got sent down to Godfather's to pick up pizza. And got there, put my mask on, walked inside, and found out they were very, very busy, and I had to wait and wait and wait. And after about half an hour, I couldn't. I'm not being whatever the word is I'm looking for, but I'm telling you, I couldn't breathe. I was literally gasping for air, and I had to go outside. I had to. And I got thinking about this. Right now, here, we only have to wear the masks when we enter a business. Most cases, it's optional. Everywhere else, they don't care. If you don't wear a mask, they don't say anything to you. But like I said before, out of respect for the people that are fearing this virus, I will wear it just, for their sake. And that's the only reason I'm wearing it. But it makes me wonder, how do people wear these all day while they're working? I couldn't do that. I could not handle half an hour. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. But I'll tell you right now, I'm going to choose my words wisely here. If it comes down to, like some places in the States right now where you have to wear them outside, and in some places even inside your house, I am not going to do that. And I think that's all I'm going to say about that. But it just this experience just makes me wonder, how do people wear these all day? And especially if they're working, physically. Myself, I couldn't handle it. Anyways, enough of that. I just brought that up to say that for those of you that are required to wear a mask all day while you're working, I really sympathize with you. I don't know how you do it. So, in the last video, I talked about showing the same videos every day. Well, not the same videos, but the same tour, same route, same streets, same trail. And I decided to make a change, to give you something a little bit different to look at. And I also mentioned that would lead to something else. I made a decision. I decided to do something a little bit different. And you may notice I come down the highway, and instead of turning, I'm going straight. Where am I headed? Well, I decided not only are you going to see different scenery, I myself am going to see different scenery. I've been to a road that I've never driven on yet. Today is my first day. I mentioned about the motor issues that I was having, and the pattern that I'd mentioned. What I have noticed is when I first take the monster out, it is not full speed. Full speed is 20 to 21 kilometers per hour, and when I first start out, it's like 16 or 17, and it'll stay like that until the motor warms up or the controller warms up, whichever one it is. I suspect it's the motor, and then it's fine for the rest of the day. Now, as far as the loss of power, it's not an issue until I'm going uphill. And if I go uphill full speed, then they'll start slowing down from gravity and just normal, and then it'll just drop. It'll go from like 17 down to 16 or 15 for a few seconds, and then it'll go back up to 17, and then it'll slow down a little bit again. Not a lot, but enough to notice it. Now, if I go uphill, let's say half throttle, like when I'm going through the construction zone, heading up the hill, I'm like barely moving, and that's mainly for comfort, and embarrassing creaking hinge, I don't have an issue. The motor doesn't react to that at all. It's only when I'm going full speed. So the steepness of the hill doesn't seem to matter. So I'm guessing as long as I don't go up steep hills, I'm okay for distance. Because like I say, the longer it goes, the better it runs. So that's what I'm doing today. And I wanted to pick something that I actually wanted to do this last year, but I just never thought of it in time. And then I had that hub problem, and I didn't want to trust it going out of town. So today's the day. I'm heading to McLean Line. Oh, wasn't that a beautiful drive? Even the sky looks good in this shot. So, I guess I wasn't paying close enough attention because I didn't know this was a dirt road. But thankfully, it's not fresh gravel, it's hard packed, so it's like driving on pavement. I just had to watch out for the odd rough spot. So I'm going to sit here, take a break, and I can continue on. I'm going to go up Beeline Road. Beeline is the road that Rona is on. That's the only part I've actually driven the monster on. I have driven on this road, so it won't be my first time being on it. And as soon as I turn left here, there's a bridge, and the first place on the right is where I dropped off the U-Haul truck. So I am familiar with this road, just not with the monster. And now I'm back into familiar territory that you've seen before. Absolutely beautiful day today. Perfect day for doing this. I stayed out for a while. I even did my regular tour, my regular extended tour after this. My body was up to it, and I just kept going. I took breaks naturally, but it kept going. And at one point, I even saw a deer. Of course, my cameras are wide angle, so it's hard to really see, but I look over and there's this deer standing there looking at me. So I stopped and pointed the monster at it so the camera could get a good view, and it just stood there. I was expecting it to run off, but nope, it just stood there. So I sat there for a few seconds, and then I drove off, and as I was driving away, it put its head back down and continued grazing as if I wasn't even there. I was impressed. That's the closest I've actually been to one for a while. So I mentioned in the last video that changing things up would lead to something, which was this, doing the out-of-town McLean Line tour, and this also led to something else, and that is the change that I was talking about. I don't start right away because I do a little bit of planning, deciding how I'm going to do it, and in the meantime, I do this tour again because I enjoyed it so much. I get a few things in between. I'm not going to explain what that's all about, but actually I'm not going to say anything because there's a few videos in between, and I don't want to create another cliffhanger at this point. So that's all I got for this video. Thanks for watching.